Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Solo from the Cluster Alpha Born, and today I'm going to be sharing with you four top raiding methods in 2020 Arc. So we're going to begin with, as you can see, the Trike, and a lot of people do start with a Trike, but I'm hoping mine's a little different. The methods I'm going to be trying to show you do not need to have 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of tanking a base. These are all about how you can do legitimate raids without needing to tank until the turrets are empty. So, a Trike is an amazing early game dino, and I definitely recommend using one. But towards end game, we need to be updating the way we use them. So as you can see here, we've got a Tech Rex, so we've got normal Rex with a Tech Saddle. And all we're going to do is have the Tech Rex lean over the Trike. Not enough so that he's being shot, the Trike is the one taking the brunt of the force. But we need to get the Trike close enough so that the Rex can also get close enough and land his hits when he's shooting. Now again, like I said, this is all about, instead of standing here tanking all of these turrets and taking 3, 4, 5 hours, we're planning on trying to get through these as fast as possible, just getting through each tower as they come. And next on my list, guys, so number 2 is the Racers. Now these have had quite a few nerfs over the years. There's been HP, there's also been the amount of structures allowed to build on them. But here's just 3 very basic builds that will help you with your raids. Now these builds are not designed so you don't have to tank whatsoever. These are more just designed to help you tank less. So we're going to be focusing on the one in the center today, which is quite a large wall at the back, and again, that's not so I don't get shot whatsoever. It's just, as you can see, there's 8 turrets for me to go against. I don't want to be taking or tanking all 8, so I'm going to try and minimize that as much as possible. I also have Unknown with me today. He's my raiding partner, and he is actually behind me, in between my ankles and the wall, and he's getting ready to drop C4 down when I tell him we're close enough. So as you can see, there's only 2, maybe 3 turrets actually shooting at me. Now as long as they keep shooting at me and I have my Racers head down, I'm, like I said, making myself as small as possible, and I'm trying to get Unknown as close as possible so he can do some damage. And again, as you can see, tanking 2 or 3 turrets is a lot easier than tanking 8. Okay, now it's time for me to move out because Unknown's placed his C4. Again, this does take a lot of practice with your team. This does take a lot of coordination and a lot of communication. So even now, Unknown is waiting for me to tell him when we're safe enough away that he can blow the C4. And there we go. That's 2 hatch frames, 3 turrets down. Backed in again. More C4 placed. So very little damage to no damage done there. Obviously we wasn't quite close enough apparently. So this particular style, like I said, it really does take practice. You really need to make sure you know how your partner raids and defends and attacks, and they need to know the same about you. But like I said, as long as you keep a very big open line of communication, this method is doable, and as you can see, it is quite effective. There we go, a couple more turrets gone down. These walls are also very good again for hiding other dinos. So again, we've got the Tech Rex, and as you can see, as long as I keep the Tech Rex's body behind the wall, he can actually peep around and shoot quite easily, and the turrets don't see him. So that is kind of a glitch in a way, but again, as you can see, we are just pushing through. So third on my list is the Quetzal. Now this did go out of fashion for a while, but it seems to be back in fashion now, so I had to of course add it to my video. As you can see, I've just done a very standard build, 6 foundations and then hatch frames on top. This one's more aimed at chandeliers or turret towers that are on cliff plats. all you need to do is, as you can see, we're trying to sneak up underneath it. High HP quets, of course, in case we do get shot a little. We want to make sure we can survive. But essentially we're either going to try and take out the pillars, or we're going to go straight for the cliff plat, depending on which one's easier, or depending on the build you're up against. So now you can see we chose the pillars, and that's unknown again, throwing C4 out of the hatch frame onto the pillar. And there we go. So all it was rinse and repeat. And don't forget, guys, to give a like or a sub if you haven't already. But some honourable mentions very quickly. Rocket runnings, especially in a cave with beer. And then C4 turtle bombs. Gotta love the old turtle bombs. But number 4 on my list, believe it or not, is the skiff with a stego. Now this one again takes a lot of practice, a lot of coordination, and it's very, very easy to lose your skiff if you don't practice this a lot. So this isn't the most cheapest way of doing a raid, but as you can see we've got a turret tower which is vault dropped, but the roof is not. Now the person on the stego shooting rockets will die doing this, okay? For them it is kind of suicide, but it's a way of trying to get in without having to tank the entire thing all over again. The person with the skiff is just trying to line them up, get them into a position where even once the rocket is shot, it will still do some type of damage. So yeah, we're not using rockets assuming they're never going to be shot or anything like that. We know they're going to be shot. Unknown knows he's going to die doing this. We're literally just trying to get him next to turrets, so when the rocket is shot, it does do some damage. Okay, so as you can see now we're beginning to get through the ceiling, but we're still not quite there. All the turrets are still shooting. The skiff's actually gone below half health because I am accidentally went a bit too low, which means that the skiff got lit up, which, as you guys know, skiffs will not last very long against turrets. So this is quite a risky method. If you can master it, great, it will do its job. But in the pathway to mastering it, there's a good chance you're going to lose a few skiffs. Now as you can see, once the ceilings are gone, we're able to actually get the stego and unknown in there, which he's now about to C4 everything else. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this helpful, and I'll see you on Alphaborn.